So it's being reported that Cara Dune'S will actually be the one to replace Cara Dune in the Rangers of the Republic show. Now we know from The Mandalorian season 2 that they were setting up some sort of spin-off storyline with the Cara Dune character. Now whether or not that was going to be an entire spin-off show like the Rangers of the New Republic seems to be, or maybe just a little spin-off storyline within The Mandalorian season 3, we didn't really know. But it seems to be pretty much confirmed now that the Rangers of the New Republic was going to revolve around Cara Dune, and it no longer is for obvious reasons. But the character that they have seemed to replace her with is Cara Dune'S, according to a lot of reports. Now, do I think Star Wars fans will like this replacement? Do I think Star Wars fans will accept Cara Dune'S as a replacement for Cara Dune in her own show? The answer is a simple no. I don't think people will be okay with this. I don't think people will be okay with any character at all replacing Cara Dune because, well, you're replacing Cara Dune. It's honestly at this point an irreplaceable character, not only because of how good she was in the show, but also what's happening outside of the show. It seems like most Star Wars fans nowadays are connected with the politics that's going on inside of Lucasfilm and also outside of Lucasfilm, and it seems like most fans are extremely unhappy with the way things are being handled, especially around the Gina Carano situation. So honestly, I think no matter what character they pick to replace Cara Dune, nobody would be happy with it because it's not Cara Dune. But if I was looking at it objectively, would Cara Dune'S be a good replacement for Cara Dune? Would Cara Dune'S be a good lead for a TV show? Honestly, I think she could be a decent lead for a TV show, but could she replace Cara Dune? Objectively, I don't think so. I think they're two totally different characters, and I think you would have a very hard time finding someone like Gina Carano to fill that void. I think if they already have the story written for a character like Cara Dune, played by an actress like Gina Carano, a very tough, physical, and strong character, then I think they may have to push the release of this show back because I think you're going to have a very hard time finding someone like that. I don't think there's many actresses out there that can match the physicality, the toughness, and the strength of Gina Carano. And yeah, she might not be the best actress in the world, but she hasn't really had that much time yet to develop those skills. Most of the people that she's acting around, the actors and actresses around her, have been acting their entire life. But anyway, the Cara Dune'S thing in a vacuum, I would be pretty excited for Cara Dune'S to get her own show, but in this situation, I am not excited because I don't want anyone trying to replace Cara Dune. If they try and make Cara Dune'S the replacement for Cara Dune, it's going to fail miserably. Just make it her own show. Don't try to force Cara Dune'S into the role of a Cara Dune type character because that's just not going to work. But it is also being reported that Jon Favreau is actually extremely unhappy with the firing of Gina Carano. Obviously, Jon Favreau is heavily involved in the Rangers of the New Republic show, and obviously he played a huge part in the casting of Gina Carano for the Cara Dune role. So if Cara Dune was going to be the lead, or at least a main character, which according to these reports she definitely was, then that causes a huge problem for the show that Jon Favreau is heavily involved in. You have to remember that Jon Favreau was the one that went out and handpicked Gina Carano for the Cara Dune role. He knew that she was perfect for that role. He knew exactly who he wanted for it, and he got her. And normally when people go out and handpick actors or actresses like that, they have bigger plans for them in the future. So you have to imagine that if you were Jon Favreau, if you were in this situation, you would be frustrated as well. It's hard not to be when a character that you handpicked, when an actress that you handpicked and a character that you had big plans for gets fired out of nowhere. I'm sure it blindsided him, and I'm sure it threw a huge spanner in the works for the entire Rangers of the New Republic show. They're probably going to have to end up rewriting the entire thing because they don't have that character. They don't have Cara Dune anymore, and you can't replace her. So I'm actually pretty scared of the implications that this is going to cause between Jon Favreau and Lucasfilm. I really hope it doesn't cause any tension between them. And honestly, Jon Favreau being unhappy at Lucasfilm is one of the worst things that we could hear right now. I'm sure with the success of The Mandalorian, Jon Favreau is getting job offers left and right in Hollywood. He's honestly probably one of the most sought after people in Hollywood right now. The absolute worst thing that could happen to Star Wars is for Jon Favreau to leave for another IP. We need Jon Favreau now more than ever. So I really hope they end up finding a way to fix this without trying to replace Cara Dune because she's really irreplaceable. In my opinion, I think you just scrap the entire Rangers of the New Republic show. I honestly wasn't too excited for it in the first place, and most people that I've asked about it haven't been too excited for that show, especially when it's sandwiched between like The Mandalorian season 3, Kenobi, The Acolyte. There's a lot more to look forward to other than just that show. So I think if they ended up just scrapping the show, I think Star Wars fans would not only be understanding but also just not really care that much. But let me know what you guys think of Cara Dune'S trying to replace Cara Dune in the Rangers of the New Republic show, and also let me know what you think of Jon Favreau's frustration with Lucasfilm. The Cara Dune'S thing for me in a vacuum would be a cool concept for a show. I would like to see a Cara Dune'S show, or at least a show involving her, but to say that she's replacing Cara Dune, once again, I just don't think that could work. But thank you for watching the video. If you did end up liking this video, consider leaving a like on the video and subscribing to the channel. channel. If you want to follow me on Twitter or join the Discord, both of those links will be in the description. I also have merch linked below if you want to support the channel and get something in return. But other than that, thanks for watching the video and hope to see you on the next one.